Hey guys, so I know I'm rushing to get these Mania reviews out for y'all, and I'm sorry, all you see in the background is the WrestleMania 6 logo, but hey, that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today will be WrestleMania 6, and up to this point, by the time you are watching this video, I have already watched up to WrestleMania 9. I have watched past 9, and oh boy, when I get to that review and I upload it to YouTube, y'all will love it. But 7, 8, 9 will be better quality than this one. But we had a dark match. Paul Roma defeated the Brooklyn Brawler. 67,678 on April 1st, 1990, 30 years ago from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This WrestleMania was interesting because it was the ultimate challenge. You had the Intercontinental Champion, Ultimate Warrior, going up against the World Wrestling Federation champion, Hulk Hogan, in one of the few times that Hogan would lose clean. He doesn't do the job, brother. But regardless, the show opened up actually with Rick the Martel defeating Koko Beware. One of these guys is a Hall of Famer, and it's not Rick the Martel. I loved Rick the Martel, though. He would always come out and say, "When I spray my arrogance." Rick Martel won in about 3.5 minutes. There was really nothing to this match. It was kind of a nothing match, to be honest. I mean, hey, was what it was. Two guys got out there, did their stuff. Hey, um, Demolition defeated the WWF World Tag Team Champions, the Colossal Connection, Andre the Giant and Haku, to win the title. Story here was Andre and Haku were with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Bobby Heenan actually got mad at Andre after the match and did the whole thing where Andre pointed at him and slapped him, and Andre would turn face. I think Mania 7 would actually be the last time we would see Andre the Giant in a WWF ring, although I could be wrong. I think he made an appearance later on in 91. I think it was like SummerSlam or Survivor Series he was there. But it was the last Mania appearance for Andre. This was his last Mania match and made him go out as a good guy. And I think that was ultimately the right decision for them to do in the end, was make Andre a good guy after years of being a bad guy. Match was actually not bad. I think, well, never mind. That was the next match, next two matches I was looking at. This match, I gave a star out of 5. 1 out of 5. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Earthquake and Hercules. It's Earthquake against Hercules. What do you decently expect? God, man, I swear, these matches back in the day, these manias are really hard to judge. Brutus the Barber Beefcake defeated Mr. Perfect. Now, the story going into this one was Perfect was undefeated, had yet to be beat, although he had been beat numerous times on house shows. He had yet to be beat on WWF television. And Perfect lost to Beefcake here. You could ultimately make the decision that maybe it was the right call for Perfect to win instead of Beefcake, but Perfect ended up losing this match to Beefcake. 2.25 of a star. Never really understood it, but hey, I never understood why Brutus went over here instead of Perfect. You could have easily had Perfect keep the title, but hey, it was what it was. Roddy Piper versus Bad News Brown. Bill went back from the Rumble. Piper had half of his body painted black and half white. That would not fly today, in today's day and age. But yeah, half of his body was painted black, which was weird, and I still never understand to this day. I guess Piper had split personalities going into this match. You gotta love Roddy Piper though. But yeah, um, that was what it was. Piper and Bad News Brown went to a double count out. Hey, I love the stuff that Steve Allen was doing throughout the night. There was one time where he was trying to sing the Soviet national anthem with the Bolsheviks, Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov. They would lose in 19 seconds to the Hart Foundation. They dropped to the Hart Foundation in 19 seconds. Take that. Actually, think about this. This match actually was the quickest match in WrestleMania history because the Bundy and Special Delivery Jones match was 24 seconds. This was 19. So, yeah. dud. There you go. WrestleMania 7 was all throughout the night announced for the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Seating 100,000 people, the largest WrestleMania in history in reality, which I'll get to when I get to my WrestleMania 7 review, which I'll need to upload. But Mania 7 would actually end up taking place in the sports arena due to the Gulf War going on at the time, and they say it's because of terrorism, but it was actually due to ticket sales and the main event not doing as good as what it would be. But yeah, I mean that was quite something. The Barbarian defeated Tito Santana in about 4.5 minutes. That match gets a star. Not really anything there. Dusty Rhodes and good old Sapphire taking on Macho King Randy Savage and Sensational Sherry. Good mixed tag match. I think it was pretty good. I never liked Dusty Rhodes in the WWF though. Dusty Rhodes is a fantastic talent, one of my favorites all time. But the fact that they put polka dots on him and made him a joke in the WWF, made him a joke. Yes, granted, he did get the win here, but it was a joke. And Lord forbid, bless all 4 of these people's souls. All 4 of these people have since passed away. But Sapphire, why would you have Sapphire wrestle? You know, she did the best she could, but she was not a trained athlete. You know, but rest in peace to all 4 of these individuals. Mean Gene Okerlund interviewed Bobby the Brain Heenan about Andre, and Bobby the Brain Heenan said, "I'm pissed off at Andre the Giant, whatever, yada yada yada," and that was whatever. Macho King and Sherry were mad. The Orient Express defeated the Rockers by countout. Orient Express got the win here. If you want to see a good match between these guys, look at the match at the Rumble 91 that I've talked about before. That match was better than this one. But this one was not bad. You know, it was not bad, but it ended in countout, which is always, you know, that's always a cheap finish, especially at WrestleMania to end a match by countout or, you know, disqualification. That's always cheap. I hated when they would do stuff like that. You know, it really defeats the point of the feud, you know, to have it end in a count out. But regardless, the Orient Express got it, and I believe the Rockers would win at the Rumble 91 in a phenomenal contest. Phenomenal match. The following January after this. Go back and rewatch that one if you haven't. Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Dino Bravo in 4.5 minutes. I will be honest, like I think it's like Big Beefcake said in one of his videos, I never saw the appeal behind Dino Bravo. I never, you know, may he rest in peace, God rest his soul, but I never saw the appeal behind him. I never saw why he was such a big talent. I never understood it, you know. In this match, I gave a dud because, I mean, it's Hacksaw and Dino, you know, and Hacksaw was another guy who, to me, when paired up with the right guy, he could have a good match, but he really didn't really have a good match here. DiBiase and Jake the Snake Roberts. This match I was interested in. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't write any notes. No, I should have came more prepared. But from what I gather, I think this had something to do with the $1 Million Championship and the Snake. I don't really remember because I'm already up to WrestleMania 10, and I write the results down and the star ratings. I don't like to usually write a lot of annotated notes. I usually have a good photogenic memory on what happens, but I guess this is what happens when I'm a couple WrestleManias ahead of where I need to be. I'm just wanting to make sure I can watch them all, and then I can get the reviews like that whenever I need to get them. But yeah, this match was for the $1 Million Championship, and Ted DiBiase would defeat Jake the Snake Roberts, but it would be by by countout, not disqualification. It would be by countout. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of a pointless way to have DiBiase win. You could have easily had him win. Sean Mooney interviewed Akeem and Slick. Slick is a funny dude. Slick is just hilarious. I hope I one day get the chance to meet Slick because the Doctor style Slick, man, he is hilarious with some of the stuff he's doing. And Akeem doing the whole jiving thing. Did you realistically believe a big big dude like that would be representing Africa. I mean, come on. Like, it, it is what it is, but still, I mean, come on, man. Big Boss Man defeats Akeem. That's another dud. Not really anything there to note. Rick Rude defeated Jimmy Snuka in another one of those matches that was really nothing to note. But Rhythm and Blues all night was talking about they were gonna perform a concert. Uh, and they would come out here. I got my hair slicked back. I'm gonna do a little dance. I'm the honky tonk man. He's a honky tonk man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm bad. And so that's what you would hear all night was honky tonk man. And DDP was actually the driver in the car. For those of y'all that didn't know it, y'all probably know it by now that DDP was indeed the driver in the car. But yeah, DDP. But I just loved Honky Tonk Man's theme song. I got my hair slicked back. I know I just sung it, but still, I loved it. Ultimate Warrior and Hogan had a video package. These guys met briefly in the Rumble in 1990. Hogan won the Rumble. Ultimate Warrior and Hogan fought one another. And this match, I watched Beefcake's review on it. He really loved the match, and I can understand it. It's the first match he ever saw. Me, going back and watching this match, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, my star rating might be a little bit higher compared to what some people may think. But to me, this match, I thought was match of the night. Now, don't get me wrong, they had a god-awful match at Halloween Havoc 98. That match was just the drizzling shit. But this match was just epic because you had two horses. You had a guy who was the current mainstay in the company versus a guy who could be the future in the company. This to me this was like Rock Austin before Rock Austin. Like, this was just everything that you would expect from a WrestleMania classic. Warrior was Intercontinental Champion. Hogan was WWF Champion. And to the surprise of many, Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan clean in the middle of the ring. Of course, Hogan would do the big splash, and Hogan would get his legs up at the very end like the asshole that he was, not wanting to do what was best for business. Hogan would have the title the next year, and then at Mania 9, he would have the title. But this was just, I thought the match was great, and I don't know if I'm going to watch it again because the Mania 18 DVD has this main event on the DVD. But since I've already seen this match, I'm probably going to skip over that feature when I get there. But this match was just great. I thought that everything about it was good. Hogan and Warrior really put on a good match at Mania. And it was something that was just really, really good. And one of the few bright spots on a Mania that was kind of dull. But there's also kind of a thing that I was looking around at that I really want to talk about, and it's the Mania 6 curse. And evidently, like 40% of the people that were on this show have since passed away. And I understand that the show was 30 years ago, so it makes sense for a lot of these guys to have passed away. But a lot of them, it was younger age. Let me look. Warriors passed away. Rick Rude's passed. Jimmy Snuka's passed. Boss Man has passed away. Also, you've got Dino Bravo passed away in this, so you've got that. All four of the people, Rhodes, Sapphire, King, Macho King Savage, Sensational Sherry, have passed. Jim the Anvil Neidhart passed. From that, Piper has passed. Bad News Brown has passed. Mr. Perfect, Earthquake, and Hercules both. Andre the Giant. And yeah, I mean, so you had almost one person in every single match that has since passed away. And that's a very, very sad and somber note to really think about when you think about the level of talent that was at this show and that the guys have since passed away. But anyway, guys, like I said, I've got up till Mania 9 that I've watched, so I'll try to get reviews out anyway. I'm going to try and get a better format, but hey, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. I'm out.